Hello, Anton. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine,
Great.
as always, I guess. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. So this video is about
Thank you
doing a
for
call with.
inviting me.
Oh, you are welcome. Thank you for being here. This video is about doing a call with Anton. That is a language learner. Like he's currently learning Japanese, and we are going to see that he is doing this learning very intensively. And the idea of this call is just to explore like why he's learning his language and which tools he's using to help him to learn this language efficiently, and which workflow he set up, because he Anton uses a bunch of tools, and we are going to see which tools he uses, and maybe you as a viewer you will be able to pick one of his tools and maybe to find some interesting tools to add to your set of tools to learn your own language. So without further ado, Anton, can you introduce yourself? Like tell us about who you are, maybe how old are you, where are you from, where you live, things like that, please.
Yes, my name is Anton. I'm language learner. Initially, I'm from Ukraine, so I speak Ukrainian as well as Russian as my native languages. Right now, because of the war, I live in Italy. Um, Yeah, about languages, I've learned English through the passage of my life, and uh, right now I'm learning Japanese because I'm interested in it. Um, I live in Italy, but it doesn't mean I speak Italian. That's
Yeah.
also interesting story. Maybe I'll tell it later on.
Okay. Can you explain what motivated you to learn Japanese? Like, how did it start?
Well, I wasn't interested in learning languages uh, until like 7 or 8 months ago,
Okay.
when I thought, okay, well, I'm tired of not being able to speak Italian in Italy.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not particularly useful for me because I just sit at home and do my projects, studies. But I decided, okay, well, I will learn it. And I started um, researching. I found
Okay.
myself a guy who has learned Italian already,
Mhm.
just Ukrainian, uh, who 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 had
Another
uh,
Ukrainian
who,
who did learn Italian by himself.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Who learned Italian by moving to Italy,
Okay.
and I started practicing with him. He was giving me some little tasks to do, like write something, learn words, um, and I've been doing that for 2 months.
Yeah.
But as well as learning Italian, I was trying to dedicate all my time to it, but
Okay.
I couldn't grasp how to learn it efficiently. I was doing.
Okay.
I found an app. I started doing um, some things, but I didn't know how to properly do it. And
Okay.
at the same time, I was watching a lot of content on YouTube and also reading some articles on how to
Mhm.
learn language, how to learn it efficiently, which
Mhm.
apps and methodologies there are
Yeah.
out there. And after some time, I understood that uh, after 2 months of learning Italian, even my method wasn't efficient. I was able to start speaking a little bit above A2 level, as I
Okay. Cool.
describe it for myself. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm learning 2 hours a day, but I'm dedicating like 6 hours a day to learn how to learn language.
Oh,
And
can you repeat? You were dedicating like 2 hours learning a language, like learning Italian, but dedicating 6 hours per day learning how to learn a language? Oh, very interesting.
Not only six. I was my whole day was like, okay, well, I learned 2 hours, and and before that, after that, I watch a lot of YouTube on how to learn languages. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I know
after
this
that,
trap. I know this feeling.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's more
yeah.
interesting to figure out how to do the things than to do the things. Yeah.
But after those 2 months, I understood that I accumulated some methods, and I developed a system on how I want to learn language. But for
Okay.
me, it is not easy to switch system while I'm doing something. It wasn't
Yeah.
easy at that time, and I couldn't just change my system of learning Italian. I could, and I knew that I could implement this system if I take another language, which is I'm not learning right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. It was easier for you to start from scratch to test your new system
Right.
than changing your system while you were learning the same language. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it happened that I have chosen Japanese because
Mhm.
it's hard, therefore it's interesting. It's absolutely different,
Yeah.
mm, and interesting. Um, and it this language makes sense for me because I watch anime sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, I watched over I don't know 100 of them. So and I thought, okay, well, if I continue, and I'll be able to watch them in Japanese,
Yeah.
I'll improve my skills as well while doing fun stuff. If
Yeah,
I
I
reach the level
understand.
where I can do that.
It's very interesting because like I feel that the main motivation for you to start learning Japanese was actually to find an interesting challenge to test your new learning system. Am I right?
Yes, it's right. It will basically it is. I could have chosen any other language. I thought about uh, German, Deutsch. Okay, well, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Dutch is
but
like Holland, and German is yeah,
it's yeah,
and
yeah,
German is
it's
Germany. Yeah,
Dutch, and
yeah,
Deutsch is German in German.
yeah.
Uh,
That's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, but it didn't make much sense because it's similar to Italian, and it was better to stop
Oh,
learning
by
languages
the
and
way,
start learning.
so sorry to interrupt you. Where are you
Yeah,
living in Italy?
I live in Rome.
Ah, I'm going to Rome. Yeah, I thought it was Milan, but I'm going to Rome in March. In March, I am going to Rome like with my family.
Or then should we meet in
Yeah,
person?
maybe we'll try. We'll keep in touch about that if you want, of course. Yeah, it would be fun.
Okay, okay, let's go. Okay,
Nice.
let's continue to
The
the next
interview,
question, I
sorry.
guess.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Yes.
interrupted you. Um, so yeah, for how long have you been learning this language? I think you say like something like 6 or 8 months, and like on how many hours or minutes per day on average?
Okay, I started learning Japanese 5.5 months ago, uh,
Hmm.
and I've been trying to learn language for 6 hours a day. Uh, First 3 months, and then 5 hours a day, last 2.5 months. But on average, till this point, it is 4.5 hours a day because some days were missing, and I couldn't dedicate every day because uh, sometimes it's just not.
Yeah.
mm,
Obviously, yeah. So about like 4 to 5 hours per day on average. Yeah, impressive. Um, what is your current situation? You told me that you quit school, and so you have free time and you live at your parents' house. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have finished school,
Oh, you
but
finished. Okay.
uh, I didn't like the idea of university. I participated in university in Ukraine, already being in Italy,
Yeah.
by online, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was something like informatics, system development, uh, programming basically,
Yeah. Computer
because
science.
I
Yeah.
was doing programming at the time, but it was C++. It was very easy, very basic stuff, and not related to my
Interest.
backend development
Oh, okay. Yeah.
mm,
Not related to the skill.
specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To your
and it
yeah
wasn't
specialty.
efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I still stay in that group, and people, and they are still learning, I don't know, some algorithms,
Hmm.
uh, something like that. Well, it's imported somewhere, but
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
And
not
so
interested in
And
that.
so you have like, let's say you have more free time than the average person, which make it possible for you to learn a language like 4 to 5 hours per day. Just to explain to the viewers of this video, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So then we are going to dive in. What is the most interesting? So um, can you talk about a little bit about like what methods, like approach, rules, mindset you follow to learn a language? Can you show a little bit like your system to learn a language? Is this question is hard for you? You can also you can also describe like a typical learning session. Do as you feel is the best to explain us a little bit about your way to learn a language. Yeah, and feel free to share
Okay, right.
it.
Mm, well, I will just explain. So my mindset into learning Japanese was, well, I learn grammar, and I'll learn a lot of words,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will be able to understand everything. I'll listen and read. I'll listen a lot, and then I'll be able to understand anime, and then I go on from that level, just watching anime in the future.
Okay.
And I had a fixed time, like 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, and uh, I had one flow. I had one. Um,
Workflow?
no, no,
Ah,
no.
no, default
No. Uh, uh, I had one. Um, mm,
problem,
um,
disadvantage.
yeah, yeah. Basically, I had one flu, I guess, in my
Yeah.
system, in my mindset. Uh,
Okay.
Missing piece that Japanese is not Italian, where I could learn 25 words a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and it ended up going much slower
Mm.
than I thought.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'll be learning it forward. And also, I've changed my mindset later on. So,
Okay.
but when I started, I thought, okay, I'll learn grammar, uh, and when I started learning words, grammar, and doing a lot of reading.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. First of all, I thought, okay, well, I just need to practice
Yeah.
conjugation tables, like I did in
Okay.
Italian, and and then I'll be able to speak
Okay.
and learn more words, learn more grammar. But I didn't particularly believed in comprehensible input in the
Okay. Yeah.
start, and yeah,
So
it
just
took me like a few.
for the viewers, comprehensible input is the idea that you just need to immerse yourself with a lot of content, like read a lot of books, watch a lot of TV shows, basically consume a lot of content, and then content that you can understand. So thanks, for example, sometimes to translation or content that is easy to understand for you, depending on your level. And then your brain will figure out by itself like the grammar of the language and things like that. And naturally, you will become good at this language by focusing on consuming a lot of content. Yeah, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah. Basically, how Krashen describes it, you acquire language by consuming um, messages that you can understand in that
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
So yeah, but after some time, I understood that, oh, well, I have to read because uh, I have to read and listen um, uh, to to make my to make what I've learned through actually learning, dedicated study, to make those knowledge flawless and
Mm.
actually
Intuitive,
make
like
them
to,
make them harden in my brain.
yeah, like so it
Uh,
became like an intuition for you. You don't have to think about which rule is it before like speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, but so basically, what I did, I was learning words,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing grammar, and I was reading a lot, and I was doing a little bit of listening.
Okay.
So it is um, uh, the main structure, but
Yeah.
I did a lot of challenges. It's very hard to sit and do one routine 5 hours a day every
Mm.
day.
Yeah.
If it's 1 hour, 2 hours, well, I can do that. But if it is 5 hours, it is very hard mm, to stick with one routine. So
Yes,
I
definitely.
actually had a lot of challenges. For example, first month I was learning a lot of kanji, Japanese hieroglyphics,
Mm-hmm.
like 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, and the rest of the time was grammar and reading. Then I started doing. Then next month I was doing 3.5 hours of um grammar. Like I
Mm.
found one uh, super cool site. It exists only for Japanese, uh, with a lot of. I will explain it later if we talk about resources. But
Yeah.
I did like 3.5 hours of grammar. Then I get
Okay.
tired of grammar and started reading 3 hours a day
Mm-hmm.
uh, for 1 month. But grammar was like 1 hour or 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
So
I've tried
gradually,
learning a lot of words. Yeah.
progressively, you increase like the amount of time you spend consuming content, like reading, and you decrease the amount of time you spend like doing the hard stuff, like reading about grammar, if I understood well.
Not particularly. It's more
Okay.
about changing the method. For example,
Okay.
for example, I decided to finish N3 grammar, it's like the third level, something near B1, I guess. Um, and right now I spend like 2 hours on reading, but almost 3 hours on grammar. So
Okay.
it's just about balancing around things I want to do and I don't want
Mm.
to do, to make some challenges. For example, finish that N3 grammar. What I'm doing like in 10 days. Yeah, close
Mm.
half grammar in 10 days.
Mm.
So it's about challenges that make my learning routine much more interesting.
Yeah, much more like funnier, engaging. Okay, yeah, interesting. Um, what let's say, yeah, what tools do you use? Like if you use some specific apps or like software or like extension? Um, yeah, do you have like some tools that you use specifically?
Yeah, there are some tools, and I think this tools and methods question uh, is actually very tightly um, mm, fastened. Like it's very similar. I cannot talk about tools without methods and methods
Yeah,
without tools.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Uh, So the first thing, maybe it would be better um, to put on the screen.
Yeah, can you share your screen?
Not if I do it, but maybe after.
Yeah,
In
during
after.
the editing, but if those tools are on your computer, maybe you can share your screen now.
Oh, I don't think it will be particularly flawless right now.
Oh, really? Why?
Uh, so maybe it's better to film little videos later and put them while we talk,
I will
like 10
actually
seconds.
love if you could do like a 1 or 2 demonstration. Like it would be very interesting. Yeah, I really think so. Do you think there is a
Okay,
problem?
well,
Okay,
I can try to do that.
awesome.
The first thing I use is LinkU.
Okay,
Uh,
great.
it's a reading app. Um, I think most people know about it.
Nice.
It is a quite popular app
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, for reading. Uh, it
Yeah,
was made by Steve
Stephen
Kaufman.
Krashen. Oh, Steve Kaufman. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Sorry, I
Steve
mixed.
Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite popular YouTuber.
Mm,
For example, Italian. It will be easier to show with another language. So basically, it's a reader where you have uh, where words are split, and you can look up words while you're reading
mm,
unknown words. Just pop-up dictionary. For example, that is a Little Prince, uh, and you can see like uh, white words is the words I don't know. I know.
mm. Yeah,
The blue words I didn't encounter yet,
yeah,
and the yellow words are words I've encountered but I don't remember.
yeah,
I didn't learn them yet. For
yeah. It's in
example,
process. Yeah.
uh, there is a sound Administro. Okay, manage. Uh, and you can see other definitions set it up by people who also use this app.
Mm.
Reconto, for example. I don't know what is it. Recount. Count again. Recount. And
Okay. Yeah.
well, you can check one, and it becomes yellow. Well,
Yeah.
it's quite an easy app. Um, so I've been doing uh, about uh, till this time in Japanese. It was one third of my time in this app,
Hmm.
about 220 hours. Yeah. My total time studying Japanese is about 700 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, I wrote. I've been tracking time, so I
Okay. Yeah.
know
Nice.
the amount of time.
So you use
So and
LinkU. So for your reading,
yeah,
you use LinkU like all the time, or do you read also stuff without using LinkU?
mostly I read with LinkU now.
Okay.
I think I'll be reading with LinkU until I can read like something
Oh, nice.
in paper. So it
Nice.
will be uh, quite of a long journey. Yeah. Mm, okay, well, besides that, I use Anki.
Okay. Yeah.
Anki is a software um, to learn something by using cards,
Yeah.
one side and another side. It was particularly useful while I was learning uh, Italian. I've
Okay.
managed to learn like 25 words a day with it.
Yeah.
Not a day, an hour, in an hour. Uh, but I didn't use it that. And there are actually a lot of ways you can use it. Um, for example, uh, we can see. Uh, for example, this is a typical how typically uh, how typical deck looks like.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not a typical deck. It's my deck with cards with listing. I don't know if you can hear, but there is a
No, no,
screenshot
we
and
can
the audio.
can't hear, but I can imagine that there is like the sound of a short extract that
Yeah,
we can hear.
it's extracted from anime, and I have to um, remember. I have to not remember. I have to hear it. It is
Yeah.
a listening practice,
Yeah.
but it's
Nice.
not what I.
Oh, your microphone is mute. I don't know why. Your microphone is mute.
Ah, well,
Yeah, nice.
yeah, yeah,
It's good
yeah.
now. Perfect.
Well, little. Uh, uh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so, for example, um, I guess this is a regular deck. As you
Okay.
can see, there is a word,
Hmm.
and I have to recall what it means.
Yeah.
For example, it's reading. Uh, and it's basically anything can be here. Anything can be here. For example, it's a front side. Yeah, I can put here any word, uh, but for now, let it be this one. And on the back side, uh, we have again this word and
Yeah.
all the necessary information. For example, sentence, translation, and audio.
Yeah.
You can make those cards by yourself, or you can take them from text and make this process automatic, which is what I'm doing. But basically, this
Okay.
app is for uh, mm, it, I'm not going too deep into this app, but it's very
Mm.
useful for retaining information because it's
Yeah.
spacing reviews.
Yeah.
Um, right.
Yeah.
And
Anki
I've
is
been doing.
just to clarify, Anki is so as you see, you have this system of flashcards where you have a question, like a question on the front of the card, and the back of the card you have the answer. So you can ask questions to yourself. So you make the effort to really try to guess by yourself. And it's really a good way to train your memory. And the other part is that you have a space repetition system where you see if Anton clicks, if Anton you clicks on show answer. Yeah, perfect. Then you can see on the bottom, you can indicate like if it was easy or hard for you to understand, to remember the information. If you click on easy, you will see like, for example, in this case, only in 12 days, the information again. So because it's easy, you don't need to see it very often. But if it was very hard, you can click on again, and then you will see the information, the card again in only 1 minute. So you repeat the thing a lot, and then by practice, you make it stick in your memory. Yeah. Okay, great.
I guess we can leave in the description some good videos on
Oh
Anki
yeah,
and link you, so people can go around.
yeah, that's a
So
good
we don't
idea.
take
I
their
note that
time
for
right now.
myself. Yeah, yeah.
But it's a particularly useful app, and many people
Mm.
describe it as the best app because you can learn grammar, you can learn basically anything, and it is spaced repetition. So better you know, less it shows that
Okay,
card.
yeah,
Well,
great.
so again, let's go back to the normal view. Uh, One thing I use, and I think most people should take this app, is Yomitan. It's particularly useful. Uh,
Great.
it is an app, in browser app, that makes that gives you an ability to use it as a pop-up dictionary. So basically, you read anything in a browser, and then you see the unknown word, and you can put the pointer in it, click one button, shift,
Maybe
and then
you
you
can
see
do
the translation.
little demonstration. Yeah.
Of course.
Awesome. And don't worry about the time. I think we like in 5 minutes my Zoom will quit because I have only 40 minutes. But maybe you will be able to launch a Zoom, another Zoom call, so we'll be able to continue the recording.
Oh, okay.
Great. After.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, I want to go on a website, or basically anything, Wikipedia, uh, and I choose English, and I don't know, in the news. Okay, so for example, did you know? Oh, for example, you read this, and you don't know one word. I don't know. Uh, Foundations, for example. If you don't know this word, you can just put the cursor in the start of that word and press Shift,
Okay. Yeah.
and it will show a, uh, a
A
description of this word.
definition.
It's
Yeah.
basically a definition. It's basically as you put it in the dictionary or Googled it. So basically, it shows all the definitions that are in pre-built dictionary, and you can play the sound if you click here. It exists for most words. Yeah, it's very useful. It exists for, I guess, 20 most popular languages.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely for
Japanese.
Italian, English, Japanese. Yeah, it was initially for Japanese, but now it's for a lot of languages.
Okay.
And for
Cool.
example, you can put this card in Anki.
Okay. Nice.
Loading quite slow this time. I don't know why, but and well, it's in my deck for Japanese, but but you can see this is the information it set it up, foundation, and all the description, audio for this word,
Nice.
and it actually takes, if you set up it correctly, you can do whatever you want, like sentence card on the front. It was an Anki deck, but as you can see, it saves sentence. So it basically saves all the necessary information for you to learn this.
It's very cool. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I like this app a lot. So one of my favorite apps.
Thanks a lot. Very interesting. Yeah. Are there like other apps that you use that you currently use?
No. I guess. Yeah. I guess it is most apps I use for right now.
Okay, interesting.
No. The grammar app. It's actually very interesting. Okay, so now I will show my app for, not my app, but app I use for learning grammar.
Grammar. Okay, great.
Yeah, it is exclusively for Japanese, but I think it can be used for to create something like that. To create something like that in other languages, in Anki, for example.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the website is a Bang Pro, and it is spaced repetition as Anki, so it
Okay,
shows
nice.
you rarer than new information. So,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
example, uh, it is structured by the lessons. There are 5 levels of grammar, and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 as a common framework for as a common test. So, for example, when you start with first grammar point. You just go there,
Okay.
and you see the definition. Da. It's for people who know alphabet. So
Okay.
you see, it's to be, is, and then you learn, and then there is a brief description of what it
Okay.
means, and then, like, what I like the most, there are a lot of sentences. Uh, and so, for example, you read it. For example, next one. You read it if you don't, and I don't know what is this. So I can use yomitan.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Otera, temple or monk. Oterada. And I can try to understand what it means. I'm paying attention just on the green point. It is a temple.
Okay.
Apparently there is a sound. I guess it is update of later times, or like yesterday maybe. And basically you read a lot of examples. It's the best thing because there are a lot of examples.
Okay, nice.
Some
So those
and you
examples
go.
are here to illustrate a grammar rule, grammar point about like
Yes,
the
yes,
conjugation of the verb to be. Okay.
right. But more I go forward, less I read description, and I jump straight into the sentences uh,
Mm.
to uh, to because my brain understands much better based on sentences.
Mm.
And after that, you just add it to the review queue, and they show you one by one these 12 sentences.
Mm.
I guess it's 12. One by one. Watashi da, it's me. Honda,
Mm.
it's a book.
So
And
here
they
it's
show
like
it to
the
you.
space repetition system. Like here it's okay. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it help you
But
to
then
remember. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, then you go to reviews when you edited this. You can go to next topic, read it, add it as well, and then go to reviews. And then you just you can read it, and if you understand, you show answer. It reads it, shows you what it
Mm.
translation, and then you click hard or good. Uh, so yeah, basically, it's hard. If it's hard, it will make uh, uh, it will show it
More of
much
a,
more.
yeah. Yeah, much
So
more. Yeah.
so yeah. Also, there is a fill-in when you see when there is no this nitaishite, this green thing, and you have to fill it with your hands with keyboard.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, but I like the reading because for now I concentrate on comprehension. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it's an app, and it was perfect. It has levels, it has progression.
Mm.
It's very easy to uh, to to go along. It's much easier than workbooks, which
Yeah.
textbooks, which I do not like at all.
Yeah, they're boring.
Uh, yeah.
Very interesting. And
Uh,
like, but it shows you sentences, but those sentences are here to illustrate grammar point. So by reviewing the sentences, you're actually trying to remember why the words are put in this way to remember the grammar point. Yeah, that's, yeah, very
yeah.
interesting.
it's basically after you read the point and you read exercise and you read those sentences in queue, it is basically like comprehensible input, but
Mm,
that is specifically on your level of comprehension, where there
yeah,
is
and
where it's not too. Sometimes it's too hard, but it's not too easy,
and when
and
you see,
you know what you are reading.
yeah, and when you see a sentence earlier you read the description, like the grammar rule behind the sentence. It only shows you sentences that follow rules that you already read about before in the software.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, seems like a very cool
Yeah.
tool, Bunpo, and it's
Yeah, and
focused on Japanese. Yeah.
yeah. It's only for Japanese, unfortunately. But I like because I like it a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
because of the structure and all this.
Do you use the
Okay,
paid version
well,
or the free version?
yes, I use the paid version. It's $5 a month.
Okay, yeah, yeah, it's affordable. Yeah. The next question I would like to ask you is describe a current typical day, like a learning session, like let's say like yesterday. How did you structure your time?
Oh, I am lately I'm terrible with structuring my time. I wake up like at 1 o'clock. I fall asleep at 6. It
Okay.
feels terrible. Uh, but usually I'm trying to do like 3 hours uh, before the dinner, before 7 o'clock. Uh, and then after 11 o'clock, right now, 2 more hours.
Yeah, but yeah, and what
Uh,
I meant is like how like the 4 to 5 hours you spend learning a language like every day. How do you structure them? Like how many hours do you do of reading, of grammar, of this and those things?
well, as I said in previous section, it depends very much. Uh, I have a mentor as well. I didn't talk about it, but I have uh, I said I had mentor for Thailand, but I also found myself a mentor for Japanese,
Okay,
a guy
nice.
who passed N1, and he also is actually good at techniques.
Yeah,
He knows some linguistic stuff. Just a cool guy,
yeah, nice.
and he helps me to build that routine. We meet every week,
Okay, yeah,
um, usually on a Thursday,
yeah.
and uh, and we talk. What have I done? How do I feel? I say,
Mm,
oh, I cannot learn like 500, 5,000 words yesterday. Like,
mm,
and then we make a plan for the next week, and it's usually very different
okay.
uh, to make my process more fun. For example, right now I'm doing 2.5 hours of reading, I guess, about, and 2.5 hours of grammar. I'm a little
Okay.
bit balancing right now because sometimes grammar takes more than I
Mm,
uh, mm, but for example, in 10 days, um I really like doing challenges.
okay, yeah.
In 10 days, I decided that I'll start a challenge where I learn like 200 kanji readings. Kanji is
Mm,
hieroglyphs, they have readings, where I learn them alongside with 2,000 words, 2,000 hieroglyphics, 2,000 words. Um and I'll be learning them together. I think it will take like 4 hours a day on this activity, and there will be everything like Anki for words, Anki
mm,
for uh, kanji hieroglyphics, and then I'll also be asking ChatGPT to create me text with those words to so I can read them efficiently and just
Okay.
to remember those words and those kanji.
Oh,
And
so you
maybe
you do
I'll
create
ask.
little text with ChatGPT, like little stories, so you can practice specific word?
I hope I'll be able to.
Okay.
It's quite. I think it's quite hard if it's not just a sentence with word. But I'll try. Maybe I'll text you if I succeed.
Nice.
And like audio and I'll be writing a lot. So it will be a whole month of learning those hieroglyphs.
Mm.
Yeah, basically learning words just to ensure I learn hieroglyphs is just like
Okay.
exchange between them, and I'll be doing like everything to learn those uh, 2000 hieroglyphs. Yeah.
Okay, crazy,
Uh,
crazy. And
so
so
I really like the idea of experimenting. Like people usually say, "Man, just read like 3 hours
yeah,
a day and do Anki." But well, it's not interesting. I'm looking for like new methods, new. Uh, I'm learning this language just
yeah,
to test myself
yeah, to
uh,
test systems.
to
Yeah.
have fun, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
so funny to be like, it's so interesting to be creative with your workflow, like with the way you learn. It's funny to test new methods and stuff like that. And when you find a system that works well, it's really joyful. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Me, I'm really like, I find it more interesting to study how to learn than to study the language. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's 100%.
And this is linked to my next question. Like, Uh, Um, what is your current main challenge regarding learning Japanese?
Oh well, the main challenge. Mm, I guess from the start of learning
Mm,
Japanese, it was learning new words. It's
mm,
really hard in Japanese. I was struggling with it. Like, for example, reading is not that hard anymore. Grammar wasn't hard from the start.
mm.
Uh, I just understood that I can learn it very fast. Uh, so yeah, words. For
Okay,
now,
yeah.
they're not learning efficiently.
Mm,
That's why I'm doing this challenge in 10
okay,
days. But it's one challenge, but
mm,
it's specific for Japanese.
yeah,
For example, in Italian, only after 150 hours of learning, like right now, I'm able to watch basically most YouTube. There are so many words from that are similar to English words. You can
mm,
hear so much of them.
okay,
Basically, mm, and it's just not a problem. And also, they are so similar to English that
yeah,
you're basically learning words from the brain makes those relations very
yeah,
fast.
yeah, just by practice. Yeah,
And
yeah,
when yeah, but in Japanese it's words like I don't know, jokyo.
yeah,
I cannot make a part and all the
yeah.
words like this.
You
They
cannot
don't
figure
make
it
any
out
sense.
by yourself. Yeah, yeah,
For when words are similar to Ukrainian words, for example, when I heard the word kaidan a
yeah,
few times, I thought, oh, I can hear it clearly. What does it mean? Basically, in Ukrainian, kaidani is basically the things that you like a uh, hang.
bracelet.
No, 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 no. Like a handcuffs, uh, but big handcuffs from the like a few centuries ago,
Okay, yeah,
wooden or
okay, I see.
metal large things that keeps prisons hands closed, and it was
Yeah,
really easy to make those. And in Japanese, it's just a staircase,
okay, yeah,
stairs. Sorry. And it was really easy to make that relation. In
okay,
Italian, it's like that all the time.
yeah,
But in Italian, in English, the hardest part, for example, is correctness. Mm,
yeah,
correctness for me. It's something I didn't practice too much. I had like a challenge speaking 2 weeks in only English at home with my. Fortunately, all my family can speak English,
Okay,
so
nice.
I had the opportunity to make challenge like that,
Yeah.
and I've improved my speaking abilities so much. Uh, oh well,
Yeah, okay,
mm,
cool.
but right now I think that it will be the biggest problem after I cross that intermediate plateau where I
Hmm.
can't understand language well. Mm,
Okay, interesting.
yeah, so
Interesting.
it will clearly be the hardest part.
Yeah, learning new words. Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. And how do you stay motivated? Like, do you, how do you stay motivated on the long term? Because it has been like more than 5 months, so it's a long period.
Well, I guess it was the initial goal. I needed to learn that language. It
Mm,
changed a lot. I had a time where I lost my goal and I
mm,
didn't know what I'm doing. Why am I learning it? Right now I know. I just learn it until I know it. Like
mm.
until I comfortable living until I comfortable using this language as my main, as I use English.
Okay,
Uh,
I see.
as my main
Cool.
internet language because English is my
Okay,
main internet.
yeah.
And what made me and how I stay motivated is probably um, because I have first few months, I think 3 or 4, it was the progress. The progress
Yeah,
is what made is what motivated me because
yeah,
when you learn 5 hours a day, you can see progress in listening, in reading, everywhere, basically every week. Like
yeah.
there wasn't a week when I said, "Oh, my progress, I can't see progress." It was always I could always see, wow, I can read what I couldn't. Wow,
Mm,
there is a content I can on YouTube I can understand. Wow, I can understand Peppa the Pig. Then, wow, I can understand My Little Pony in 100
yeah.
hours. And between those, there were little wins. Right
Mm,
now, it's not like that. I cannot say I had any progress uh, for last month,
okay.
except yeah, for example, mm, yeah,
And
but
and
right
how do
now,
you do to
I
stay motivated during this plateau? Like now you are on a plateau, and how do you do
right.
to stay motivated?
Oh well, uh, first thing I track my stats. For
Mm,
example, I can see that my reading speed grows on a link queue.
mm,
For example, 1 month
oh, cool.
ago, my reading speed was like 25 words a minute,
Mm,
and now it's like 36, 37. It's like 25% or something like that
okay,
improvement.
nice,
30.
nice. That's cool.
Uh, yeah, and also uh, no, there are some good stuff. For example, I can read manga already. I think many people. Uh, oh well,
You can read
our
mangas. Okay, cool.
yeah. But I guess the biggest motivator is that I have to do that. I dedicated so much time, and I know that I will reach that point, and uh, it's the goal. I guess my goal was manifested that much by myself that
Mm,
I know that I can do it for like 7 months. More and maybe even more. Uh, it's just it's just the resolution. I just know that
yeah,
I have that time and I have to just finish it.
yeah.
I had I've passed so much. I can understand the grammar. I know a lot of vocabulary. I'm familiar with this language.
Mm,
As and like it's like I have to go the same way, maybe a little bit, a few months more but I'll reach my goal. I guess the goal in this uh, is the thing that motivates me.
Okay,
As
so
long as I have
you really
goal,
remember the goal, and the goal is enough to keep you motivated. So okay, so you have a strong why. You have a like the goal is really important for you. Very cool. And
yeah, but it's very strange because my goal has transformed
mm,
during this time. Uh, b- for example, first I just wanted to watch anime, and then I said, okay, well, I want to read books, and
yeah,
it was like I understood that I don't want to just learn language. I want to learn how to read it as well to be able to read paper books. I don't usually read. I have read like I've read more books in Japanese than I read other books. Like
mm,
I guess I guess I have read like the equivalent of 3 books. It was uh, on the link. I have right now
mm,
like almost uh, to, 250,000 words
mm.
of reading. It's basically 5 books. Uh,
Nice.
I've never read that much. I'm not into reading, but now I am, I guess.
And by the way, how do you find the content to read, like on LinkU? How do you find the content?
Or you can just import content. Uh,
But how
for
do you find it?
example,
The content that you import?
uh, for example, you can buy it on Amazon or Kindle. There is some trouble to make a file from it. Uh, but usually I just ask my mentor, can you find me that book? And he says, of course I can. And
Also,
he finds
you
me.
are reading books. Like you are reading books, and how do you choose the books that you are going to read?
Oh, well, I wasn't. There is one anime, uh, and it's quite a good anime.
Hmm.
Mushoku Tensei, the homeless
Okay.
reincarnation. I don't know. Not. I don't know. Our viewers are mostly Japanese learners. Probably not.
Okay.
But it's quite a good anime, and I thought, well, people say that the light novel is even better, and
Okay. Yeah, I see.
mm, light novel is like the adaptation is 12
Hmm.
books and 12 books more left to read.
Hmm.
So I said, well, I can just read 12 first books and then I'll read a new story and I can compare. And it is really interesting. I really like this book. Uh,
Okay, that's very cool.
I'm finishing the third one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now last question is that if you had one advice to give to the former you before you started learning this language, so Japanese, like what would be the advice?
Whoa, that is a hard question.
Yeah, I
Mm,
know. Sorry.
uh, maybe. Hmm. I don't. I'm really happy of how it turned out. Uh, mm, yeah, I don't think I would give any advice.
Okay.
Maybe about learning. Uh, it's particularly about methods. Like
Okay. Yeah.
right now, I think well, uh, uh, like you, you should have learned those kanji, and then you learn like words, and
Hmm.
you learn them already. You learn them with tututman. It's very
Hmm.
technical stuff, and I don't think it's that important and would change something. Uh,
Hmm.
as long as you, uh, uh, I've done my best, I guess.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
so
see what you mean.
I wouldn't say anything. I'm really happy with my results and how I uh passed. Maybe I just don't know yet what I need, and uh and maybe I will, mm, and maybe I will know what I would say myself after I actually learn this language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, it's actually a tough question. Yeah, I feel you. So that was very interesting. Thank you for all those information and insights you gave us. If people wants to contact you, maybe you can provide like a way to contact you if you're okay with that. Maybe some people will be curious about some specific
I
points and
wonder.
will want to exchange with you.
I wonder what people usually use in this case. Maybe my email
Yeah.
or my LinkedIn or uh, something else.
So I will put you I can put your email in the description if you want.
Yeah, well, I guess. And also I can answer comments under this video.
Oh, nice. Yeah, perfect. That's smart. Okay, so let's do that. So thank you again for your time, and yeah, I wish you a very very good day. Bye bye.
Thank you for inviting. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Thank
Rest of
you.
the day as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.